Hello my beautiful people, welcome to your weekly general tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, these readings are kind of like general overviews, general messages for everybody. Sometimes world events come through, various different things here, there and everywhere. So with that said, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit the subscribe button. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help us all on our paths to our highest vibrational good. So this week, when I went into my intuition, funnily enough, what I saw was it just looked like a person working out. And I remember thinking, okay, what am I seeing? Some sort of 80s training montage here. And the message that came back from that was, yes, exactly. So across the board, whatever it is that you know you are working on, working towards, what you need to give more juice, what you know you're kind of, maybe not even necessarily an amateur or a beginner at. It doesn't matter how good you are at something. All the true masters of anything all say the same thing. Master the basics, and when you've mastered something new, go back to the basics. This week, I really do feel like that is the message. Like, your training starts now. Whatever it is that you're working towards, whatever it is that you're pushing for, whatever it is that you feel like you're ready to do, whether that's going to the next level, whether it's starting at the beginning, your training, that hard work, as I think it's Debbie Allen says in Fame costs, and right here is where you start paying in sweat. This very much feels like that kind of week. So whatever it is that you're working on, whatever it is that you've been working on behind the scenes, getting ready, you know, doing all of that stuff, your training starts now. It starts this week, right? So you are going to have to dig deep. You're going to have to be prepared to fail. You're going to have to be prepared to maybe not get as far ahead in your training as you would like. Maybe you need to get used to the idea as well that your results aren't going to be instantaneous, right? Anything that we start at the beginning, it's always like, oh my God, really? Why did I sign up for this? Right? But this week, you are back in training, whether that's that you're back in the gym, whether it's that you're back into hitting the books, whether this is where, you know, you're back on your savings journey for whatever it is that you're trying to purchase. Like, whatever it is that you are doing, your training starts now. Get into it. All right, so for the Destiny card as the overarching energy trend or theme for the week ahead, we have, okay, the Magician card, right? So this is really interesting. So I'm here talking about training, starting a journey or refreshing your start in some way. And what does the Magician talk about? It talks about true mastery, right? Even more so, I think, than the World card. The World card is the completion and the attainment of something, whereas the Magician card is the pure directed power towards a specific thing, right? The fact that we've got that coupled with the weekly message, I really feel like this week, you will have maybe a glimpse, right? So the Magician card is working a little bit like the Star this week. Whatever you start, you are starting big, you are starting powerful. And what that means is you're getting this sort of mini understanding of, you know what, that's where I want to be. This is a powerful week for visualization. This is a powerful week for communicating not only to people, but also to the universe, exactly what it is that you're trying to create, exactly what your end result or your end goal is. This is where I want to be. This is the title that I want. This is the thing that I want to achieve. This is the thing that I want to be able to put my hands on. Whether it's a relationship, a new job, you know, a family, right? Starting a family, having a baby, you know, starting a business, launching your business, launching your website. All of these things very favored with the Magician card. It's so, all the cards, and especially all of the major cards, are so diverse in their meanings. But this week, this one really feels like it's giving me all of those vibes. Like, you have to start strong in order to finish strong. You have to start with everything that you have, so that when you are, you know, like when you get to that point of being at the top spot or at the height of whatever your game might be, the Magician card basically says you have the skill, you have the power. How you direct, focus, and channel that power is going to be everything. And this week you have to start strong. Remember, your training starts now. All right. for our direction cards, how do we best utilize this Magician card energy? How do we put it into practice in a way that really matters for us? All right, and this week we get the Ten of Cups, right? So this is all about attainment. It's about having the physical understanding or the physical realization of something. How we could utilize the Magician's energy through the Ten of Cups. Find the contentment. Find the point where you love it. Find the point where the pain becomes sweet. If you've ever had a massage, you will know, and you've had and your shoulders are really tight and stuff, and at the time you're having it, you're like, oh, it's really that sort of sweet pain. If you've ever lifted weights at a gym or practiced a new skill with your physical body, you reach that point where the pain actually becomes pleasurable and you fight through it and you utilize that. That's the Ten of Cups, right? Finding the contentment, the happiness in whatever it is that you're doing, even in the challenging parts of it. With the Ace of Pentacles, you've got to be about it. You've got to show up on the physical realm, right? In the physical. Every day this week, you are going to have to show up. And you need to remember as well with the Ace of Pentacles, you're just planting the seed, right? But how you start is how you start as you mean to carry on, as the saying goes, right? And then we've got the Ten of Swords. So this is really interesting. The Ten of Swords basically says that you need to be aware of what has to be let go of or phased out this week. It comes up here with the Ace of Pentacles. You're going to have to give something this week. You're going to have to release something. You're going to have to let something go in order to get ahead, in order to have the thing that you're really hoping for. Now look at this, right? You've got the two tens. Two tens represents change, and usually a big change or a big shift in some regard. So here's where this is about to get really fucking interesting. This is why I love what I do. The Magician card is number 1. 10, simplify, 1. Ace of Pentacles, 1. Right? 10 of Swords, simplify, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. 11, 11. Now, if you've been with me long enough, you know when I talk about this, I get very, very serious because I'm tired of people treating it like, oh, look, it's 11, 11 and that's wonderful and all my dreams are going to come true and I can just sit at home eating popcorn on the sofa. No, it's not that. Right? When you see 11, 11, when you get the 11, 11 message, yes, it's a portal, but it's an activation point. Whatever you've been trying to manifest, whatever you try to manifest this week, whatever you start in earnest, whatever you move towards this week is going to be very powerful, and it's got all the chances of success. Why do I say that? 1111 isn't just a portal, it is literally, how do I put this? When you try to manifest something and you see 11 constantly, or you see 1111, the power behind this is literally, or the universe is saying to you, I have heard you, it's on its way. The second you get that message, this is that message for some of you. For some of you, you've been working on something. For some of you, you're starting something this week. For some of you, you're rededicating yourself. But in some way, we're all back in training, right? This is the universe's way of literally saying, I hear you. I see you. I see what you're doing. I see what you're working. It's on its way. Once you get that message of it's on its way, it's already coming in, what do you do then? Well, you get into the receptive mode. You do what you can, you do your action part, you fulfill your part of the bargain, and you literally get into receptive mode of saying, right, great, thank you so much. This is on its way. And when it arrives, I will welcome it in with total gusto. Very, very powerful week indeed. All right, let's get into the insight cards. What might we need to know on that in terms of what's going on behind the scenes, what we might need to be aware of, what we might not be able to see yet? So we have the Knight of Cups. So there are offers, opportunities and all kinds of things on their way to us that we aren't aware of yet. There's always something cooking behind the scenes, especially at Radiant Reality. If you know me long enough, you know there's that a little bit of that mad scientist vibe with me. With the Page of Pentacles, this could literally be a new business offer. For some of you, this could be getting back into a hobby. For some of you, in terms of what's going on behind the scenes, it does suggest that something that you've already put into motion is now starting to become tangible, or is about to gain more traction than you are aware of. And then you've got the Nine of Swords, right? So you can have your blessings and your abundance and your forward momentum, or you can have your pain, fear, strife, and what's the word? Delay. But you can't have both, right? You can't have your comfort zone and your growth. You can have one or the other. This week, that's what these cards are really saying to me. Now, in terms of what's going on behind the scenes, I think this is going to be, I mean, we're already seeing this on the wider world stage, but I think we're going to see a lot more of this. The energy of coercion, the energy of, I'll give you this if you do this, right? So this week you got to be aware of that. You got to be aware of people potentially offering you things with an ulterior motive in mind. If that is the case, be discerning. If it truly serves you and it's definitely going to be something good, positive, beneficial for you, something that you can use, absolutely go ahead, but just make sure that you are ahead of that energy, right? So that you know, okay, this can be a mutual thing, or it can be me being taken advantage of. Just get aware of that. The Nine of Swords coupled with the Page of Pentacles. Well, look, again, whatever is offered, you just need to be aware of what you're going to be asked to give for it, and whether you are prepared to do so. That's likely where the challenges really are going to arise this week, which is interesting. Now, for the wider world stage, I think this week, we're definitely going to be hearing something about a prominent figure's money and finances. I don't think this is just about the space stuff that's going on. I actually think we're going to be seeing possibly more transparency around somebody's money, finances, or resources. I think there's going to be a lot of discussions about housing this week as well, in terms of like the future progression of things. And then with this insight triplet here, this suggests to me that something to do with the educational sphere is going to be coming up, whether this is a return to the educational sphere, or we're going to see more of this blended learning approach. I think we're about to see a big shift when it comes to the universities. So maybe people doing half of their degree at the uni and doing the other half online at home, or something along those lines. I will say, because we've got the Magician card there, we're likely to see either some big reveal or some big push in some regard. And because it represents, you know, people that are higher up, etc., it does feel to me like we're going to be seeing something that's revealed about, you know, the finances of a certain person. Doesn't have to be, you know, one of the big boys. It could literally just be a celebrity, or it could be a move that they make that is actually very beneficial. I know she's not a very popular person, but I have to mention the kind of energy that I feel this might be is a good example would be J.K. Rowling, who was a billionaire, and she gave so much money away to charity that she lost her billionaire status. For me, that's just amazing and mind-boggling. All right, okay, I can't say I get behind all of her views on certain things, but that is the kind of thing that I think we could see this week. It's very possible. Outside of that, I wish you all an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you, how it shows up for you. With that said, take care, and I'll see you soon.